You are a terrible friend. How dare you treat me like this the way you did? You have been a terrible mother. You have been a terrible father. Did you not notice how stressed I was? That's how you should not start a very difficult and crucial conversation. Because what you're doing, essentially, is putting other people at blame, where they're just being, what? I'm just chilling in life, and all of a sudden I get attacked. I want you to put yourself in the other person's shoe, thinking, how would you feel if someone randomly accused you, even if you have done something wrong, even if you did not validate your partner, your friend, or your child, or your parents' emotions, how would that make you feel? You feel attacked, wouldn't it? You feel unheard. You feel confused because why is this person suddenly attacking me? That's how you should not start a very difficult conversation. I read a book and it's called Crucial Conversations. One of the most important thing that this book has taught me is focus on the emotion. Not necessarily the person, in fact. Focus on how you feel. So this is how the conversation would start. Hey, are you available for a difficult conversation that I want to discuss with you? What you're doing is to create a tone of curiosity. You want to create a tone of questioning other people. Why? Because it's allowing other people to feel, oh, okay. By the tone and the body language this person is expressing, they do want to talk about something that could be difficult and it could be challenging. And next, state your feelings. When you did this, it made me feel blah, blah, blah. For example, if your partner cuts you off very often, if your parents or your friend cuts you off very often, you can say, hey, there's something that I want to bring up to you. It's been bothering me for a bit. Are you able or are you available to have a conversation? Or are you available to have this a little bit uncomfortable conversation with me right now? Sometimes when you cut me off mid-sentence, it made me feel, you can either say it made me feel unheard, underappreciated, and or just disrespected. You can pick and choose the adjective you want to use, but the essence is you state your feeling. You're not accusing them for anything. You state your feelings. After you state your feelings, what you want to do is ask them for their opinion. You want to ask them if that's what they intended to do. So after saying, when you cut me off, I feel a little bit disrespected. Is this what you intended to do? Most of the time, they will say no. And then you can ask them the why they cut you off. Is it because they have something to add to the conversation that they think is more valuable? Or you can then go on saying, yeah, it does make me feel a little bit underappreciated. Thank you for acknowledging how I feel. Now, the word acknowledge is very crucial in this point. Why? Because you guys are on the same step. You guys are on the same level, working towards the same goal of understanding. Now you're at acknowledging, but what you want is to understand. And let them understand why you're having this conversation. After working towards the same goal, which is understanding, you can say, thank you for acknowledging how I feel. I will be very much appreciated if next time if you have something to add, ask me if you could add something. That not only just show me that you're actively engaged in this conversation, it makes me feel valued. It makes me feel loved. But this framework that this book has taught me is get into a collaborative mindset. You're not targeting that person. You're targeting the situation as a whole instead of your shit, your trash. We turn that into, I want to discuss with you about something. Are you free to do so? If not, cool. Because there will be times when you've tried to initiate a conversation with people that you love and they're genuinely really busy and they don't have the time to do it. And then you can ask them, yeah, this has been bothering me for a bit. If you're not available now, can we perhaps set up a time or a place so that we can carry out this conversation? Because remember, conversation works both ways. You cannot just go on and attacking someone hoping for the best results. Attacking people is letting your emotions to lash out. And we don't like people who lashes out. It gets you nowhere. Literally nowhere. You can crash out whenever you want when you're alone. But the second you crash out onto someone, they will start to label you as emotional in a really bad way, or just unreliable, or just irrational. That's not something that we want. We want to be emotional, but at the same time rational, because we don't want emotion to control how we think. We don't want emotions to control our actions. To recap, the framework would be being in a collaborative mindset. I want to have this conversation with you because this has been bothering me for a while. First step, prime your target. Second, tell them how you feel. when you did this, it makes me feel a little bit underappreciated. It makes me feel disrespected. After stating how you feel, ask them if that's their intent. Most of the time, they will say no. And then you can ask them, why did they do what they did? So that you guys will be solving the situation instead of accusing the other person. And being in this same collaborative mindset is so important because it makes them feel heard too. And then you can say, next time if you try to cut me off, you can ask me if I can cut you off because it makes me feel heard. It makes me feel you're actively engaged in the conversation. Please give this a go. I've tried this on literally every single person that I find valuable and trustworthy in my life. If that's your true friend or someone who actually cares about you, they won't diminish how you feel. They will actually be in a more collaborative mindset so that you guys can work on building a stronger relationship.